When 8 Days of Hope responds to a disaster like Hurricane Michael, we partner with the local church. They give us the names of families who are in desperate need of help. And sometimes we learn about people like Ms.Flora Johnson, where I am today, who's lived in this home since 1965. She has had severe tree damage. Trees have punched through the roof and punched through the ceiling of her home. We're here to remove those trees and help get her a little closer to moving back home.
I had a friend out in Lynn Haven, and there was a group of people from 8 Days of Hope out there looking at a house to see if they could help. And she said, I know someone who does need your help. And she called me, and I went back and told her that we had found somebody that was going to get the limbs and the trees off of the top of the house, and that God was providing. And she just went down on one knee and started crying, that she was just so overtaken by joy.
My husband worked at the shipyard, but on Saturdays he would work at Cliff Taylor's used car lot. And that morning he brought me by here. That road was a 2-lane trail when we first moved in here. I came through the door and looked around. Beautiful. Thank you, Lord. And, you know, we didn't have much then, but we had God's love and one another's love. Bad weather has crashed down, and part of a tree comes through the living room and the kitchen ceiling. It broke my heart, because all my faith and trust and everything, every breath that I breathe is in God. He's everything to me.
She was devastated when I brought her by to see the house after the storm. She was just devastated. This was her home, and she wanted to come home. But these were some huge trees on this house, and we had people tell us there was no way to get it off except with a crane. She had no insurance, so we prayed, and God answers prayer. God has answered our prayer.
You can see the trees on top of her house behind me. We got high tension power lines over my head. What we got to do is take our lift into the backyard so I can get away from the power lines, and then we're going to put a rigging block all the way up in the only tree that's still standing, and then we're going to tie off these other limbs, and the 2 trees that are laying on top of the house, we're going to rig them off and swing them to the ground, and then we're going to take that tree and throw it the other direction, and we'll have her cleaned up. Then the power company can come put her power pole back up and get her back home.
For us to be able to find y'all through my friend, and y'all came right away without hesitation and looked at the house and have been working your heart out. I mean, working as hard as anybody could ever ask for somebody to work and get things where she can move back into this house, because that's all she wants. That is her heart, just to move back in and be here where she's been for so many years of her life.
Well, we met Miss Flora. We went in her house, we demoed the ceilings, the walls, the floors, moved all her furniture. I wish you'd all been here to see her reaction. She was the happiest homeowner I ever saw that had her house torn apart. It was a blessing. She's a blessing.
I thank God for every one of you. And I pray God will give you strength to do for others what you're doing for me.